Hi Tribe, welcome back to my channel. Kina Mapolomaku. So today Tribe, I want to discuss the infamous, very infamous balloon payment. So if you don't know, I run a podcast, a weekly podcast with Maya Fisher French called My Money, My Lifestyle every single week. So do go take a listen. I will leave it in the description box. I know someone called me out the last time in one of the videos that I did not leave the link in the description box. Guys, I'm still new to this YouTube business, okay? But I'll definitely make more effort to, familiarize myself. We're getting there. So we discussed this with Maya. She actually wrote an article in City Press, which I also write for every single week. Under the personal finance pages, and she wrote about the balloon payment shock, okay, because really a lot of people find it as a shock at the end of the term. But let's go back. What is a balloon payment? What is a balloon payment on a car? And we're even laughing in the podcast that it's not balloons that they wrap around when you buy your fancy car and you're happy. You actually pay for those things, by the way. Just say. Hashtag just saying. When you go to the dealership and you find that they have nice balloons on your car and like it's like a gift wrapping and a type of business they have going on there. We're actually paying for that. So for me, for my next car, I'll be like, don't do none of that. Okay. Yeah. Just saying. So what is a balloon payment, Tribe? What is this infamous balloon payment that we are talking about? Effectively, a balloon payment is that you are driving around in a car that you cannot afford. That's what it means. And why do I say this? So let's take, for example, you have your dream car and you think, goodness, I can afford this. Some people will say, I can afford 5,000. 6,000, 7,000, 10,000, 15,000 towards my car, or 20,000, whatever your budget allows me. But a lot of the times people are not taking into consideration that it's more than just the monthly installment towards a car that you pay. It's about the fuel, it's about the maintenance of this car, it's just the running costs of a car can be quite high. So if you find yourself in a position to buy a new car or a second-hand car, it will be new to you, so it's new, right? Whenever you make the decision to purchase a car, make sure that you've taken into consideration the monthly installment that will be going off your account, number one. But secondly and thirdly and most importantly are the costs of running this car. So the fuel, the car washes that you love on a Sunday afternoon, the going for a service. Some people talk about a maintenance plan. Those things are quite expensive as well. And like all sorts of costs of ownership of having a car, right? But let's get back to a balloon payment. So you go into the dealership, and this is an example from the article that Maya wrote. You really like a car, and it's for your dream car. It's 500,000, and on the monthly installment over 5 years would be 11,500 bucks. So you think, goodness, 11,400 bucks is a bit steep. I can't afford that. Then the salesperson is like, "Wow, I've got something for you, girl. You can still drive around in your dream car, in your fancy car. Let's just take a 30% balloon payment option." What does that mean? It means that 150,000 will be put aside at the end of the agreement, So 500,000, 150,000 will be parked somewhere in the horizon for you to catch when the agreement ends, okay? So it effectively means that you will, your installments will be calculated, so your monthly installments will be calculated on 350,000 rand. So instead of paying 11,400 bucks, now your installment comes down to 9,700 bucks. Now your brain works in amazing ways because now it's like 9,700 bucks. It's less than 10,000, 11,400. That's more. So, you know, your brain reconciliates the two. It's like, no, that's less, you can afford that, right? So now all of a sudden this car becomes affordable, right? But what a lot of people forget is that the 150,000 you still owe. So whether the term of your contract is 60 months, 72 months, how many other months that the agreement is that at the end you still need to pay this 150,000 rand, guys. Okay, so let's do the calculation, because this is where some people think, you know what, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So over a 5-year period, you pay 48,000 rand more, as the bank is charging interest on that 150,000. So remember, so I think the misconception here is, okay, the interest rate that they give me is calculated on the 350,000. You know, the monthly installments, they're less now, so I'll be charged just on the 350,000. No. It does not work like that. They look at this whole thing as one contract. You know, they don't see the 150,000 as something that is sitting somewhere, packed all nicely, looking nice. That one day you're just gonna pay because, you know, they're being nice to you. No, it's looked at as the whole, as 500,000. So you are still paying interest on that balloon payment. Okay, so, and at the end of the period, you're still, you know, slapped with this 150,000, which, man, guys, it's a lot. It really is a lot. And how many of you can honestly say, in the first 2, 3, even 4, 5 years, some people, you know, before it's due, you're thinking about it and actively putting money aside for it. Not a lot of people do that. People forget. People have a nice time, like, oh, I'm driving this nice car here, it's sitting in my garage. But people forget, because life happens, and I mean, so much needs money. So many things that we do need money. So you keep on thinking, you know what, something will come up. And how many of us do that? I know I've done this sometimes, and I'm like, no, you know what, something will come up. Something will come up. Sometimes things do come up, you know, where you can handle your business, but sometimes it doesn't, and normally it doesn't unless you take on some sort of extra side hustle, some sort of, you know, something else other than the normal happens in your life. And a lot of people just kind of postpone these things and think, no, something will come up. That's how we make financial decisions that I've seen, right? So, you pay for your 8,000 more. So, if you do not opt for a balloon payment over the 5-year period, on a car that costs you 500,000, on a value of the car that costs 500,000, you will get to pay 684,000, right? So because of interest, of course, that is 184,000 rand more, okay? On the other hand, if you opt for that balloon payment because, you know, you just have to drive this car so badly, is that you will pay, with a balloon payment, you pay 582,000 in monthly installments, okay, plus 150,000 at the end of the period. So this makes it a total of 732,000. 732,000. So here you would have paid 232,000 rand more compared to 184,000, just because you opted for the balloon payment. It's a lot of money, guys. It's a lot of money. So we're basically traveling around here, you know, a lot of people are basically traveling around here, like with a house, you know, they're traveling around in their houses, you know, just so that you can look amazing. And I understand, I'm a young person, I'm a young mom, I'm a millennial, you know, I want to live my best life right now. But this is a lot of money to be literally throwing down the drain when there are so many other things that can generate me wealth. So for me, that's what besides the fact that a balloon payment is a horrible idea, like literally just a horrible idea, no matter which way you look at it, people can come to, you save. I'm like, there's no saving here. There is no saving. The thing is, we are lazy. We are lazy to do the maths and calculate and say, okay, what is my opportunity cost? What am I losing out on? What am I gaining on? We want instant gratification. We want it and want it now. And sometimes there's nothing wrong with that, because it can push you to go out into the world and really get your business going. But for a lot of people, we make these decisions on a whim, without thinking about the long-term effects on our budget, about the long-term effects on this thing that we always talk about. Oh no, we want to create wealth. But how badly do you want to create wealth if you're not conscious of your decision making when it comes to personal finance? So for me, that's also what I want to bring awareness to, that again, our behavior, our decision making process is very, very important. Okay, so what if you do have a balloon payment already? Remember, here we do not judge. We all have made some bad decisions in one form or another, but the whole point is that you know better, then you can do better, right? So if you do have an existing balloon payment, you have about 3 options, right? So the first one, you're just gonna have to pay this one way or another. Even with these 3 options, you are gonna have to pay it, because the bank wants their money. So you must start today saving towards your balloon payment. So if it's 150,000, start some sort of a plan to say, okay, it's 150,000 and this thing is due in the next 3 to 4 years, whatever the case is. If the car you've just bought right now, it was on balloon, unfortunately, but you could say that you are more of at an advantage, because you can start making the decision today, saying, okay, it's 120,000, 150,000, it's 80,000, whatever amount that is for you, and break it down and say, okay, all this I will need to put away this much at the end. I have 3 years to do it, I have 4 years to do it, and say, okay, divided by 12 months, over that period of time, how much do I need to be putting away on a monthly basis to do that, right? And you can put it into a high interest yield savings account where you will not lose any money at all, because you need to pay this, so you do earn some interest, right? Or talk to your bank, whoever provided the loan for you, whoever provided financing for you, to say, you know what, I'm going to put extra funds into the balloon payment, which is very important, guys, to distinguish, because you could be putting money into, you could be paying more, but they will just direct it to the 350,000 and they will not put it towards the balloon payment. So you need to pick up the phone, send an email and say, this extra funds that we're paying on a monthly basis, can you allocate it towards the balloon payment? So that's option 1. The second one is to refinance the balloon amount. This one, that's where people just get caught, because at the end of the period, you're probably or likely to have forgotten that, there's this balloon payment. You think, oh goodness, I've paid off my car. But then they're like, okay, thank you, you paid off the 350,000, now give us the 150,000 cash. And you don't have it. And they're like, oh no, don't worry, we've got a plan for you. Just like we had a plan for you to drive around in a car that you could not afford, refinance this thing. So now you're caught in that refinancing trap, and this car, it's a mess. Okay, so that's another option. Or then the third option, you can either sell or trade the vehicle at your dealership. But the problem with this is that now your dream car is no longer the value at which you got it 4, 5, 6 years ago. Now this thing is almost a scrap, if you want to be extreme, but it does not hold as much value as it used to 5 years ago or 6 years ago, whatever the term was. So if you're trading it in or selling it to a dealership, it's no longer as valuable, number one. Number two, you still need a car to drive around in. Okay, so, and now there's that 150,000 rand waiting for you to pay. Yeah, it's a mess. It's a real mess, because now you have 150,000 to pay. Let's say now this car for 500,000. I don't know how much do cars depreciate by a lot. So let's say you get 200,000 for it, or 250, half of the amount, right? And you still have to pay 150,000. Now you're left with 100,000 to buy another car. So what's your plan? You know, what's your plan at that point? So guys, really, balloon payment, I don't know. Whichever way you look at it, maybe you have a better option in life. But whichever way you look at it, a balloon payment is just a terrible idea. It really is a terrible idea. It's one of those decisions that will make sure that you move further away from your financial goals and your financial dreams and financial success. It really just derails you. And you know, we were talking with Maya, and it's like, you know what, it should just be illegal that companies offer such. You know, they really should discourage people to take the balloon payment option. Yeah, it's really just like, it's a horrible idea. It really is such a flipping horrible idea. So just, yeah, be aware of that, tribe. Really be aware of it. We all want to drive nice cars. We all want to live our best lives right now, but also, you know, have the courage to think long term. I think it really does take courage to think long term. Yeah, it takes courage to think differently from your peers. It really does. And courage, you know, it's not easy, but it definitely can be done. So that's a little bit about balloon payments. You know what? Let me know what you think about balloon payments. If you've been caught off guard by getting into a balloon payment structure because you just loved the car, or you really just wanted one. You know, and what are you doing to get out of it, right? But also, what have you learned? But more than that, are you comfortable enough to talk to your family, your friends about, you know, that type of choice that you made, which wasn't the best one? Because we need to learn from one another. We need to learn from one another's mistakes. You know, if you bought a car on balloon payment and you have your siblings coming after you, they're about to finish varsity, you know, they're going to get jobs or start their own businesses, whatever the case is, do you want them to be falling into the same goddamn traps? You know, you don't want that. So have these conversations, guys. It's so important to learn from one another. Yeah, you know me, I can go on and on. But yeah, so that's really about balloon payments. I wanted to link something in the description box. I forgot. I'll remember. I'm still new at this thing. I'll link I'll have a link to the article so you can literally look at the numbers yourself. But yeah, if you do like the videos, do remember to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. And thank you so much to everyone who subscribed. Thank you. And my book is coming out very soon. What I'm gonna do, mid-September, I'm going to share the cover right here. So do stay tuned, and please do remember to subscribe, tribe. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you soon. Cheers now. Bye.